All right, guys, what is going on? I appreciate you guys waiting for the live to get started. We are going to give it about 30 seconds to a minute, let more people join in, and then we will talk about what needs to be talked about. And it is very important. Excuse me. Excuse me, guys. All right, so let me go ahead and pull up your comments. That way I can see everything that's going on in the feed. Just give me 1 second. Let me turn this down. Now, like always, appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for joining this live stream. This is going to be a very important one. Thank you, West Virginia Peach. Thank you for doing that. Hello. I appreciate you. All right, guys. So, you guys can make sure to smash that thumbs up when you guys come in and get the algorithm up. Let people know that we are live. I really don't want no one to miss this, so I'm trying to wait until as many people could get in here as possible. Can you guys hear me pretty good? If you guys can, please hit 1. I shared the link if you want to join this StreamYard. The link is shared on here. Let me see if I can share it again. Give me 1 second. I was trying to wait until AB jumped on because the way AB explained everything to me made perfect sense. I'm talking about like 100% perfect sense. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm going to just jump right into it. Somebody has been purposely messing with everything. Everything, guys. Did you guys hear that? Someone has gone far and beyond to make certain things play out. Now, let me explain to you guys as best as I can. Give me a second, guys. Let me go ahead and inside out. Let me turn this mic. Boom. All right. Now you guys can see me. Why would someone do that? There are people out there that don't want us to find the boys. There are people out there that hate, jealousy, envy. There's people out there that has decided to put themselves first at all costs. And it doesn't matter who they try to knock out of the way. And these people will do anything and everything in their power to set up certain events. Now, we're going to talk about Cherry Vasquez. Back in January, I believe it was, I had multiple contact me and tell me about Cherry Vasquez. Hey, what's going on in my opinion? Let me get in my opinion up in here. Boom. There you go. Hey, how are you? How you doing, sis? So, can you guys hear her or I
Can you hear
can't hear
me,
her?
AV?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Can you guys hear in my opinion? She's in here with us. You guys please press 1 if you can hear her. They can't hear you.
I can't hardly hear you.
Can you
I
nobody
used to
can
put
hear you.
headphones on.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
Oh,
you now. You don't have your headphones on, huh?
no. Okay.
That's probably it. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a lot better.
Okay.
Okay, can you guys hear her pretty good, guys? Please press 1 or comment yes. Okay, everybody's hitting 1.
Okay.
Um, okay, so what's going on is I was given some information that I never did really nothing with. I mean, I sat there, I seen it, I had a lot of information coming in. I had multiple people get a hold of me and tell me that about Cherry Vasquez. I mean, it was so many different names that were coming in left and right. So I never really looked into the whole Cherry Vasquez thing. So LV United and them, they did decide to look into Cherry Vasquez. They found out about Cherry Vasquez on their own. I guess somebody on their channel gave them the information. And how did you come about that information? Since in my opinion,
Um, well, through your video,
okay,
it was a little frightening.
right.
She's quite a character.
So everything that you have learned, like once you've seen the video, you did your own research as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll get to that right now. But guys, check it out. I never personally looked into Cherry Vasquez because my whole thing was I'm gonna keep on putting the drones up and get out there into the deserts and look around. LV and them, they live in Bakersfield, so they could get a lot more done being in Bakersfield as far as, talking to the residents in Bakersfield. Now, the whole reason why LV made contact with Cherry Vasquez was because we had multiple people sharing information about Cherry Vasquez and how she could possibly be her mom or a family member or different things like that. Now, I guess that was their second time. I guess that was their second time when was that your phone or I guess that was their second time, guys. Give me 1 second. Real talk with Alex. I'm not sure who that is, but so this is what's going on. When LV spoke to Cherry the first time, it's on a live stream, so you guys could go back and watch that. The second time was when I was with them, and when we got to the apartment, I was like, "Who's over here? Like, where we at?" It's Cherry Vasquez. Okay, who's she? She uh, most likely might be related to Jacqueline. So the whole thing was talk to her, and
Yeah.
maybe she could give us some type of insight if she was related. And maybe she could share with, well, the last time I seen the boys was this day, or the last time this and that, last time I seen Jacqueline this and that, blah blah blah. Me myself, I kind of felt like, man, is this person right here? Could this be her mom or a family member? I mean, a lot of you guys felt the same way as well. Real talk
Yeah.
with Alex. So Let me let everybody in here real quick, guys. At the stream. Hey, Alex. Hey. Give me 1 second. Appreciate you guys all being in here. As soon as AB gets on, or if criminality wants to get on, I might have to remove a couple people from the live panel.
No, I get that.
Did you want to share anything real quick before I continue? Real talk.
I just wanted to appreciate you. I've been spreading your message ever since I saw your first video on my Discord server. Been spreading it to about 1,000 people.
Thank you for doing that.
Right now.
Cool.
I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Yeah, we're doing the best we can, and we need all the help that we can get, guys. I mean, it's been a long time. The boys have been missing for a very long time. And
Too long.
there are times, it's been a long time. There are times when I myself, I get frustrated at times, but that's just me. Like, I've always been hard on myself to push harder. That's just my way of like motivating myself. Like, push harder, you can do more, you can do more. And I know all you guys can see that. That's why so many of you guys tell me, take a rest, take a break, chill out, hang out. You know what I mean?
And then when you do,
that's just how I am.
we worry about you, you know?
I know.
And you know me, man, I'm all the way in Kansas, and there's only so much that I can do to help. But, I know. Anytime you need me, I'll be there, and I'll back you up 100%. Because you have done more than anybody I have ever seen. There's nothing that anybody can say bad about you.
Right. I appreciate that.
I'm
still waiting on my wrench.
Yeah. And I'm in Wisconsin now, but I got viewers in California, Texas, Arizona, all over the country. So they're all looking out and spreading their message.
That's good.
I appreciate that.
There's YouTubers from over the seas, you know, that know about you and about the boys. And you did it. So don't be hard on yourself.
Well,
I mean, you're kicking butt.
I always,
you know,
I appreciate that. And I mean, if it wasn't for all of you guys, I mean, you guys did it. That's the way I see it. You know, like, all I did was point a camera and film and go out and
no, that's not all you did.
Just how I feel about it, you know? You guys are the ones that
working your butt off, and you're not giving yourself enough credit.
Hey, Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hey,
it's Rebecca.
Hey, Rebecca.
I've done probably 3 weeks worth of work on the genealogy side, and I also trying to think of some of the other channels that do the research on the family. And I know that people are getting stuck with Jacqueline, and Jacqueline not being her name, and then her mom being multiple people, and then it just stops. It stops with her, and it stopped with me also. But I used to work with a private investigator, so I know how to research things backwards and forward.
Okay.
And so what I've done is I know what her real first name is, and I don't feel comfortable sharing it on live. I'd rather talk to you about it and show you the actual chart, because I know that her father and mother were up near Los Angeles, near the Compton area. But
you're talking about you know what Jacqueline's real name is?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you're kind of low on my end. Can you guys hear Miss Rebecca pretty good? Chat? Can you guys hear Rebecca?
I can hear her.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. It's all right.
Anyway,
do you have my email address or?
Yeah, I do have it. It's just today I spent a lot of time doing a forward and backwards on her, And, she's showing up as 2 different ages, and she's showing up with multiple sets of parents. And in all of the research, I have found about 6 coincidences that point to the exact same parents, point to the exact same name, point to the exact same addresses and phone numbers. And it's something that you really just have to take time doing and sit there with a gigantic piece of paper and start crossing off and circling, and is this right or is this wrong? And I have never ever seen Cherry's name come up except for in a last name of some people. The other thing is the person was in that apartment complex that apparently was it her mom or was it his mom? Supposedly in that apartment complex that you went to visit, where she lived.
Are you talking about the Casa Loma?
Yeah.
That's her mom at the Casa Loma.
What was her name?
Maria de Jesus. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
she has like 3 different names or something like that.
She's got 4 different names.
They all have several different names.
And I can actually trace her family back to Guatemala. If you go all the way back, about 4 generations, 5 generations, they all started in Guatemala. And that is one of the things that is starting to throw, I think, everyone off, because they change names every time they moved a city. So you could see it. If you have it on this big chart, you can see every time that they would move to a different city or a different state, they would change their names.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they came over back in the 30s illegally or what, but eventually they ended up getting a Social Security card. So, but in the 30s, I don't know what immigration laws were.
Wow, so every time they moved, they were changing their names?
Yeah.
Wow,
oh yeah,
it's pretty common practice for illegal immigrants.
Right. Martinez, Vasquez. Then you have
De Jesus and Cano and stuff like that.
Shavara, and then there's
wow, that's a new one.
Guzman, and Guzman is one that she actually got her middle name from, but then they changed it, and I have it on another piece of paper in a different room. But her middle name is not what you think it is, and her first name is not Jacqueline.
Of course.
Wow, I'm very curious to know what her first name is.
Me too.
Well, I tell you what, we'll take it off live. I'm not going to do it on live.
I got you. Yeah, for sure. So the whole reason why I wanted to get on here and go live today was because it seems like, just like you said right now, that you couldn't find anything. Like Sherry's name never popped up for you, right? To end or something like that, you said?
No, it did not. Just did the last name on some people that were.
So my question is, how did her name even pop up?
I don't even know, because I like I said, the only Cherry that I saw was a last name of a cousin 2 generations ago. Now, is that something that they're using now? Is she using a cousin's last name now as a first name? This is where it gets so convoluted, because they can change their name to suit what it is that they're doing. And that's the craziest thing. That the other thing is, I should mention that there are multiple cities involved. Bakersfield is not where Jacqueline grew up. That's another thing. I'm positive 100% she moved there, but she did not grow up there. So that you wouldn't find anything in a high school. You won't find her in the yearbooks. I do know where she grew up, and I'll share that at another time too. she is 31. She's not 34. You know, she's a lot younger than I thought she was going to be. And her father's name is, I can tell you that, is Dionisio.
So
But
89. The birth date I have is 89. Is that not a good birthday?
no. 89.
Wow.
No. No, I've
No, it'd
changed
be
that.
before that, wouldn't it? Or no?
Well, the age 31. I have traced back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times, whereas she does show up as age 34, but that is a false name. Same address, false name, false birth date.
Wow.
But the
Wow,
mother
that's crazy.
and the father would switch names because Dionisio can be female or male in Spanish.
Like Denise or Dennis, yeah.
Right, exactly. So, but Maria used Dionisio as her first name and Maria as her second name, and then various last names. But then she would switch it to Maria, and then the husband would use Dionisio, which is actually his real
Okay,
name.
how am I gonna do this?
Yeah, I'm telling you, my chart is so big.
So what was your name again? I'm sorry.
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Okay. The DKS is that from Kansas or
What
the KS? It says DKS.
No, that's
just a
DKS
chat.
is someone who left a comment and it was pinned.
Okay.
And so basically, I mean, if you've been with us for a while, Rebecca, there's a lot of people that have their hearts invested into finding the boys. So there's a lot of people on the chat that would love for you to put her name out there if they can start doing the research. But I do respect what you're saying as well. And, you know, if you want to privately chat or something, you know, let me know.
I want to share it with you first only because, and we can set up maybe another live and I can go through all the names that I do have. I just want to be sure that I'm not putting something out there that legally I'll get in trouble for doing.
Oh, gotcha.
I can understand that. Rebecca,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like if we find out who this Cherry lady is, I mean, I personally, in my opinion, feel like she is Jacqueline's mother. But do you feel like once we find out all this, it will lead us to the boys?
There are 8.
Amanda, join the chat, Amanda.
There are.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
Hi. No, Amanda hasn't joined yet. She's in the comment section. So that's criminality.
There are at least 8 addresses in Bakersfield with current relatives that live at them. So in Bakersfield, they have 8 different addresses and different names, but they're all related. And I can show you that, like on a chart, who's cousins and who's brother to who. And believe it or not, Jacqueline has a sister to a different father. So there's 2 fathers involved, 1 mother.
Like a stepdad.
And she lives somewhere out there too. And I don't have that right on this piece of paper right here. But hang on 1 second. Let me flip through.
Hello, everyone.
I didn't think I was going to be live. Sorry, or I would have had all this ready.
We have Onisha. Hey, Onisha.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, you can.
Okay, last night I watched you on Lady Queen Helping Hand channel, and I thought that was so disrespectful how they talked to you and how they treated you, AV Watchman, because I keep telling my baby, we finna go watch The Watchmen today. You know, but I thought that was so rude and disrespectful, you know. And I do think that Sherry knows something, and I think she is Jacqueline's mother, and I think that she's lying about a lot of stuff, and I think they could have human trafficked them boys. I just feel that. I live in Illinois. I'm watching all y'all videos, and I just think that Cherry, she needs to be interrogated. She know more than what she telling. I think she lying about some stuff because her and Jacqueline look just alike on the video. You know, when y'all went to her house and, you know, show her the picture of Jacqueline. Stay on her. She lying about something. Them boys probably being trafficked. She with the people that live in Castelloma, and I used to live in California early 1980s because my dad was in the military there. But I know all about Bakersfield, National City, California, San Diego, you know, all of that, Palmdale, all that. But I think Jacqueline and that lady is either related or that's her mom. And I think she don't want to exploit her stuff like she say, but bring it on. Come on. You know, I just think that she know more than what she telling, and I think they got them boys human. I think they human traffic with them boys, and I think Jacqueline Trezell gonna be the first to get clink like down for real. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you're talking about. So my main purpose of doing this live feed today is because I received some information today. I got a phone call from Brian Wayne, and he's with that Bakersfield News, right? I think it's 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, Brian Wayne, he contacted Cherry Vasquez first before anybody else. He was at her door knocking, and then LV and them, you know, and then which led up to that second video when I was there. Well, according to Brian Wayne, she's not related. And according to the Bakersfield PD, which I believe they're going to make a statement, they're saying that she's not related. From my understanding, what I just received today, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. I do believe that there is trafficking involved. I do believe that there's a ring involved. I really do. And I believe it's been going on for a very long time. And now that there's light being shined on it, I mean, I think a lot of people are extra sketched out over it, and nobody wants to go to jail over, you know, kidnapping kids and trafficking and stuff like that.
Right, and that's why Cherry keeps saying she don't know the people that live in Casanova, but all their names keep coming up on her family tree. So how come she don't know these people?
Well, maybe Rebecca could clear up on that one a little bit. Yeah, go ahead, Rebecca.
Let me just chime in for 1 second. What's interesting that you just said that is, and I can't pull it up because I'm on the same daggone iPad that has all my information on it. You mentioned a person by the last name. What was that guy's name? The reporter?
Brian Wang.
Okay. There is on
Brian.
Trezel's side of the family. His grandfather's name was Donnie Wayne.
What?
That's what I mean. Okay, so wait a minute. So on Trezel's side of the family, I can his father Philip. It's interesting because that they are Arizona, Connecticut, Texas. I have him working for a company. I'm talking about Trezel's father. He was.
You'd say, well, his last name is Wang, W-A-N-G.
Oh, Wang.
Not Wayne. Yeah.
It just reminded me of the name.
Oh, gotcha.
Have states where the West have relatives. If you go back on Jacqueline's side, the states are more hidden. However, Arizona is a very frequent state on both sides of the family and current relatives living in Arizona.
Wow. There's an Arizona connection thing to the, you know, missing child.
Yeah, Arizona keeps coming up. And then we actually, in the beginning, when this first happened, in the beginning, there were some very strange messages coming through on Facebook from someone that was claiming to live in Arizona. They were claiming to have the boys. They were contacting LV in them. They were saying that, hey, you know, we got the boys. Oh, they're such good boys. They eat a lot of food. They're healthy now. We're taking care of them, and we're here in Arizona. And then it kind of turned to, well, we don't want to give you no more information until we talk to the biological mom. Then we were able to get this person in contact with the bio mom, and then it turned to, well, we're going to need money. If you want to see these kids, we're going to need money for them.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah, and so that was all handed over to Bakersfield PD for sure. So Bakersfield PD, they got the messages on that and everything else. But Arizona does keep coming up.
Exactly.
And I've told you from the beginning.
The boys are in Arizona.
That's what I've been saying. And, you know, Cherry's saying, oh, well, they're in Mexico.
I can definitely.
And I mean, every time they say something like they're around here or whatever, they're not. They're farther away. And if they're, they say they're in Mexico, I've been telling you, AV, remember, they're in Arizona. They're in Arizona because the lady that loaned them that money to buy a house, buying a house, it doesn't work that way. So my thing is they gave those boys to that lady Brenda, and Brenda moved to Arizona, and I think she's the one that has the kids.
Okay, can I say something too? Because remember when Trezell said that he opened the gate, he went in the house, the kids was in the yard, he went back out, they wasn't out there. Now, if somebody picked some kids up and took them away from California City to Arizona, all them cameras, all them houses, everybody got around there, somebody would have seen somebody pick them babies up. Ain't nobody stupid.
And I think Cherry is the one that actually switched them off. No, I don't think they were ever there either. No.
I don't think they ever
They were taken from Bakersfield.
Yeah.
Because remember when Trezell went to buy that house and he told that lady that he had 4 kids?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, you kind of gotta. I've watched several videos over and over and over because I know if I do that, I'm gonna pick up new clues. You know, and it's like Cherry. Every time you ask her a question, and it's just a yes or no question, she gets off on this long bullshit spill of something else. Oh well,
she's definitely hiding something. Yeah, she's definitely hiding something.
Yes.
Y'all want me to come to California? Y'all want me to come to Bakersfield so I can beat up for y'all? Y'all want me to come to California? I'll beat up.
I would if I could. That's for sure.
Let me throw out a couple of cities because these are the cities that I've had the West living in.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Where did you get this information? May I ask? Is that okay?
Yeah.
I appreciate all of this. I can't wait to dig into all of it. It's great.
We have here before we go forward a little bit, guys. We have 729 people watching this live feed. Let's try not to talk over one another. Just one at a time. You get what I'm saying? So, Miss Rebecca, I guess Criminality wants to know about the information, so we could go with that one.
The reason why I'm so cautious about current living people and their names is because it's through Intellus.
Okay.
That's how you say it, but I have a subscription through them. I have
Awesome.
a subscription through Ancestry, the full subscription. And then I have a subscription through a newspaper archive. And I actually have Wanda West's, which is interesting. I have photographs of her growing up. I have her yearbook photos. I have everything about that woman. I can't even begin to tell you how. And then the other thing that I found, if you go, and I'll share with, who am I speaking to?
Everybody, but I asked the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amanda.
Oh, Amanda. Okay. If you want, I can give you a log on to the tree that I already built, and then that links to everything that I already found. And what I did was, if I found it in Intellus, or if I found it in a newspaper article, or if I found it in a yearbook, I then clipped it and put it in the notes.
Wow, that sounds amazing. I mean, of course. Of course.
I mean, this is weeks and weeks.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Research. So it's
something. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt, but see, there's also a couple other people that are actually doing the family tree application thing, the full application, like you said you have, and they're saying that they're finding Cherry on there as being a family member and everything else like that.
If you do it backwards, though. Okay, so because I worked for a private investigator, if you do it singularly, so in one monetary line, one line, and you try to trace it back that way, it doesn't work, especially when you have people that change their names. If you do it by birthday, if you do it by spouse, if you do it by city, by address, you find all the aliases. And by using those aliases, then you trace back and see the common people between all these aliases. Then you just keep going, and it's this giant ball of yarn that just keeps growing and growing and growing. It's not just like you can take a piece of string and tie it to one end of a post, take it to the other post, and say, okay, yeah, Cherry's in there. No, it's so convoluted, and it's, you know, like an 8-hour day, 7 days a week job to try to unravel this humongous ball of yarn, or wrap it up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm kind of curious on who started that whole thing with this Cherry Vasquez thing. I am really curious about that.
I don't know, and like I said, when I saw those videos, I was a little curious about that. I believe maybe Jacqueline stayed with her, or she may be a cousin, or she may be an aunt. I don't think, and this is just my opinion, I don't think that that's her mother. I do see the resemblance. However, I pulled up her supposed sister or half sister, and when you look at her picture next to Jacqueline's picture, they are identical. Only one's younger. So you can get a family that has strong heritage line to where they do look very similar. I mean, I look like my mom's cousin on my mom's side, just because that line is stronger. So if you were to put me with her, you would say, well, that's your mother. Well, no, that's my mother. My mother, the Italian looking woman, not her cousin who looks Irish, because I have red hair and blue eyes, and my mom has black hair and brown eyes.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people would look at me and say, oh, no way. There's no way that this woman is that girl's mother.
Right.
So by looks, I don't think you could just take it by looks. However, what is Cherry's last name? Is that something that's out there?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same last name, Vasquez.
Okay, the Vasquez is actually a fake name. That doesn't show up very much. As a matter of Jacqueline's, there are a lot of people buried out there that if I give you the names, if I give you a list of names, if you can go to the cemeteries, they're usually in plots of family members. You may be able to pull that cemetery's records and see who's related. Like specifically younger people that have died recently within the past years. And we're talking younger people. 20, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds. Now there's a 101-year-old on one of the, and again, I'm going by just memory. I don't have anything in front of me other than this one sheet of paper. There's one relative that's 101 and she's still living. So, and this is all in Bakersfield. I'm telling you, that whole entire town, I swear to you, is related to both sides of that family.
Rebecca, are you talking about the cemetery that's over by where the West moved from? Is that the cemetery?
Yeah. Well,
okay,
there's
so
a couple of cemeteries, and I don't know. I'm not from that area. I've never been in that area, and I'd have to look at the addresses to see how close in proximity they are, or if there's only one.
AV?
I have a question, AV. I have a question. Okay,
yeah,
but since this Arizona address keep coming up, and we think that that's where the boys may be, is there any way possible where the BPD or Cal City Police or yourself, AV News crew, all of you guys can get together and go and find out with the bio mom or somebody and find out, if there is some truth to this Arizona situation?
Yeah, Bakersfield Police.
They would have to notify the people in Arizona, the authorities there, and have them check it out.
I can say that I did talk to a detective in Avondale regarding the missing child case of 2001, that Jacqueline Vasquez, and with information that I gave him and forwarded him, he felt it compelled enough to speak to Bakersfield himself. So they may already be in contact. I mean, at least state by state, I can say that.
I have a question.
Yeah, I know, Jessica. I know. I keep on posting your comments in the middle of the screen for everybody to see them. It looks like Brian Wang has done a Facebook post with Cherry. They cleared her name from what I'm understanding from what Jessica is putting. So I just want to make sure everybody sees what Jessica is saying and Donna Clark is saying. And I mean, there's so many messages coming in. You can't expect me to catch every single one of them.
Can someone do some research on trafficking out of Guatemala, since there are family members in Guatemala?
Well,
sure.
How do you? Yeah, let's do that. But how do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that? The whole Cherry Vasquez thing. Do you guys, now that we know Brian Wang has cleared her and other things like that, it kind of makes me wonder, well, how did he find out about who she was? Because he was the first one to make contact with her.
Well, he may have cleared her from being the mother of Jacqueline, but she's still a sketchball and has something major to hide, I mean, nobody saying that she had anything to do with the kid's disappearance, but with the way that she was talking and with all the trafficking down there and,
where did this letter come from? Where did this mysterious letter come from?
Oh, yeah, we know where that came from. We know where that letter came from. Yeah. Come on now. Them dirty deeds.
Man. I was talking to AB about that as well. Yep. Two people that has been starting so much crap and commotion It's
That's
insane.
if the letter was even authentic,
Distracting.
though. I mean, I'm thinking, she could have had anybody write that letter.
Well, this is right
know?
up their alley. This is what they do. They just want to run. They want to control. It's all about power and control. And if they can control or sway the narrative, then that's what they're going to do. You know, it's terrible.
So
and
there's some people that want to know why we are actually still talking about the boys. Does anybody want to explain?
Because they're still missing.
Amen. Amen.
And we'll never stop looking and searching and trying to find answers. We'll never stop, ever. We'll be on it.
Can I give an address out and see if somebody can check it out?
Yeah, go ahead, but just remember you are live, so be careful.
Well, I'm not going to say who lives there. I'm just.
Who's speaking? Is that Rebecca or?
Yeah, it's Rebecca. And
yeah, if you want to.
You gonna write that down, AV? You want me to get it?
810.
Go ahead.
810 Vine Drive, VINE Drive.
You know what? I think I have that address already.
I got it. And
right now, Cherry's on the news saying she's being harassed.
Yeah.
Everybody was more than nice to her.
Tell her to talk and tell one of them boys that would hunt her human trafficking friends from Casaloma. Tell her start talking and we'll leave her alone.
Have you guys noticed that almost every person that we try to speak to, they start throwing that harass part out there?
Oh yeah.
I'm being harassed. Why is that? I'm being harassed. I'm being threatened.
I guess talking is harassment.
Because they're
nowadays.
Guilty as hell. That's. I mean.
Why invite people back on camera? Why go on camera and say, "Oh, hey, you're more than welcome to come back. Let's talk about it." Like what?
Exactly.
Okay. So there's something else going on here. Now I really believe that there's certain people that's contacting these folks and making it seem like something that it isn't, like maybe putting out there, hey, they're going to hurt you or they're going to do this to you. They're going to, I mean, I just really feel like there's a couple of dirt bags out there that keeps on doing crap.
Oh, yeah.
So I was kind of hoping that AB would have got on by now, because AB, he has like this whole timeline of stuff where he
I messaged him and everything.
Did you?
I don't know. I don't know where he is.
Well, until her and her Casaloma friends start talking, we're not going to leave them alone until we funeralize and bury them boys. If they dead or if they're alive, till we bring them home. Other than that harassment, I ain't buying that harassment, so she can quit saying that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrible. They were more than nice.
Lisa, thank you, Miss Lisa. Miss Lisa says that Brenda Glover has nothing to do with these boys. So Brenda Glover is the real estate
lady
agent, right?
The lady that helped them get the house. So okay. Well, that was just my opinion. I mean, I don't have any proof of it. It's just my opinion.
Right, and that's always a little
just
catchy one too. You know, when people hear like, "Hey, this lady that didn't even know him just loaned them $5,000," or what was it, 5 or something like that? Is that the same lady?
Yeah, 5.
So I mean, that's always. I mean, emotions are running high. We got 2 boys that are missing that we have done so much to try to find them.
Amen.
And
you know, go ahead.
It would be nice to talk to somebody. It would be nice to talk to someone who actually could give us some answers and say, "Hey, I know what happened." You get what I'm saying? I know what's going on. You know, but we're not getting that. We just have people playing games and pulling the harass card out and
over to little kids
threatening us, and it's crazy stuff going on.
Well, if we don't answer, it's time to go talk to the adoptive parents. It's time for them to get off their butt and start talking. They know what they did with them kids.
Yeah, they know where they're at. I believe that too.
I believe that too.
That's right.
And AV, I'm sorry. I guess why this case bothers me so much, besides the fact that it's 2 little boys. I mean, I raised 4 kids, and if one of mine was missing. I still knew where the other 3 were, even though I was freaking out. But not 2. You don't lose 2 at a time. And I was born in Fresno. I lived in Bakersfield. And then I moved up to Selma. And when I was a kid, we moved back to Oklahoma. But I think the whole thing of that area, that got me as well. And then I watch you, and I'd do anything to be able to help you.
I appreciate that.
I want to get these boys home, but I'm so afraid that they're going to freak out before we can get them, and then they're going to get rid of them. I don't know. There's so many things that go through my mind, you know?
Yeah, I know.
AV.WATCHMEN, come get me and my daughter. Come to Illinois and get us to help you search.
let me jump on my helicopter real quick.
Okay.
Ooh, cool.
Okay.
I'm joking. I don't have a helicopter.
I wish
somebody puts that out there like, oh my God, they bought him a helicopter.
Man.
That's what he did with all those super chats.
May I say something, please?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry.
Okay, it's Rebecca. I have a couple of questions because this has gone beyond searching the vast lands of California.
Hold on real fast. Not trying to cut you off. Can one of the moderators share the link for that way LV can join?
What? Am I ready?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So what are the contenders of why they get rid of the boys? What would be the purpose of getting rid of them? Would they gain money? Is it trafficking? Did they accidentally kill them both?
All of the above.
Either monetary gain or due to them being harmed in some way.
Okay.
All of the above.
You know.
Did somebody else maybe want them and they realized they had too many kids and they ended up taking them?
Possible. Yeah.
And I think that they knew that the bio mom was close to getting them boys back, you know, through the court system. I think they know that she was close to getting them back. So I guess they said, okay, we're not finna do this, so we're finna figure out something. So I think they had a plan all the time.
I think they got money for those boys, and that's why they never intended on keeping them in the first place. I don't feel like. Because they did bond. If I was in front of a camera.
Let me say thank you for that $5 donation for the helicopter.
Yes. But if my kid was missing, I would be a nutcase. I mean, I wouldn't care what I looked like. I would be begging everybody to help me. And I don't like to ask for help. But when it comes to my kids, I will do anything.
I helped raise my nephew, and I didn't get him until he was 11.
Wow.
Hold on, guys, really quick. Onisha, do you mind if we let LV get up in here real quick and you can join back on panel in a few?
Okay, go ahead.
Room. Okay, I'll catch you in a few. You sure? You okay? You good? Okay. All right, thank you, sis. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Let me get LV in here real quick. Oh, well, you know what? Hold on. Let me just try to get her in first. She might be able to get in without. You got to make room. LV, you there?
LV.
Well, yeah, I see them, but
yeah, I
don't see them.
Hey, Steve, you know who else asked for a helicopter as part of their demands? Guess who?
Oh,
Benny.
God.
Yes, as part of the demands from the Duke thing. Yes, sir.
Oh, you
and for Doug to fly out there and go man to man and all this boo ha ha is, oh my gosh, man.
Hey, so somebody just said that Brenda Glover is wanting to join the panel. If Brenda is in here, Oh, there she is. Well, somebody has the name of Brenda Glover here. Miss Glover, if that's you, just click the link. One of the moderators share the link. That way she can click and join in.
I think I need to see, just say something to her. I mean, apologize or.
Hey, I could have swore LV was in here. Now, where are they?
Well, I see
LV, you there?
them, but
Yeah, I see them too.
okay.
And I've
You
been
still
wanting
see them
to
or
talk
no?
to her.
They just
Yeah,
left.
too.
Let me try it again.
There they are.
Okay, there they are. Hey, can you guys hear us or LV? Yeah, I appreciate that. Sipping it with pretty green eyes. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. I'm gonna step out really quick just to get something to drink. I'm gonna grab some orange juice real quick, and I'll be right back. You guys, please feel free to just talk amongst each other. I'll be right back.
Talk amongst yourself. No, I was hoping I'd get to talk to LV and them, and
Yeah, hopefully she'll pop on. I can't.
yeah.
I feel like Becca needs her own stream to disclose all these golden eggs she has.
Yeah, that's a lot of work, Rebecca.
Yeah, yeah.
I really would like to get the list of current addresses for current people all over, like including different states, so that we can get banners.
Hey, give me 1 second.
That would be your girl. She
If
probably has a lot.
if we got banners up in some places in Arizona, believe it or not, I could trace some of it very close to me, which is why I'm a little hesitant on saying things on this stream, because we're talking about a 10-mile radius from where I am.
Well,
yeah.
the more we can validate the information that you're going to give us, the more valid that it hopefully is. Then
Right.
maybe we could put together a fundraiser or something to get some billboards out there.
Right.
I'm sure we can make that happen. If this information is the real deal, then people will be jumping all over the place to get billboards out there.
And I just wanted to say one thing real quick. I don't think that the news reporter has any. This is my opinion. I don't think he has the ability to say that Cherry is not related. The only thing that will prove that is the DNA. But
I agree with you. And the reason I agree with you is because Jacqueline has used that last name at least once. So I believe that she lived with her at least once and lived under that name at least once. So I do believe she is related.
Yeah. I knew she had came from South America somehow.
Right.
And I knew that her mother had given her up for adoption.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that's what I was finding out. So, and it's just the whole Arizona thing, it won't leave my head,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, and I've also thought, I wonder if there's separated those two boys. Like, I mean, because if you go somewhere and you got two of them, somebody might put that together.
And
but if you just have one, yeah.
And they get more money separate.
And no matter what happens to those boys.
Here, let me let me just answer this question real quick, Miss Janie Hernandez. I think I did receive your package. I need to look. I picked up like 5 or 6 different packages yesterday and then 3 today. I'm actually working on a video that I was going to put out tomorrow, so I'm pretty sure I did get yours. I just had to double check, so I do appreciate you. Thank you.
Mine.
I guess AB's here somewhere. Your mod dropped the link.
AB okay. We need a moderator to put the link in. That way you guys can hear from AB, because AB, he's really put this whole thing together. Like, he has a whole timeline. We'll just let him get in here. That way he'll break it down. You guys can hear, exactly what he has to say. He's good at what he does, guys. And so is Criminality. If you guys are new to any of their channels, especially in my opinion with Sherry, they are very good with what they do. So if you guys could please check them out. I highly appreciate it.
Everybody.
Let me see if I could drop the link. I don't see anybody dropping the link in there.
I'm going to say some more only because I want my credibility to be out there too.
Of course.
I used to work for Homeland Security. And
wow.
I've been a government contractor most of my career. So I was married to a police officer for 25 years. I have a lot of
you have the job.
I have a lot of background, and I'm working a case out of Illinois right now. The girl went missing March 13th or 14th, and we put together a bunch of search teams. I wasn't able to go, but I put together a bunch of search teams, and we found her. We found her 3 days later, but she was murdered, and the guy who murdered her ended up in Kentucky. He ran, and
hello.
I don't like to pat myself on the back, but if I hadn't have
Hey Miss Brenda, give us 1 second. We have Rebecca talking real quick, and then we'll talk to you real quick right now. Okay?
Thank you.
No, thank you.
So anyway, so this 19-year-old girl was murdered, and the man that did it has murdered 3 other people in the past 2 years, and he's gotten away with it 3 times. He fled to Kentucky. I got his name right, which nobody could get his name right. The U.S. Marshals went down there. It ended up in a barricade situation. They got him, and now he has been, I forget the term that they use in court. He's already been
prosecuted.
He was extradited.
Yeah,
Extradited. Thank you. And then the first hearing happened, and then his bail hearing happened. And what is sick about the whole thing is, and this is the world that we live in. This man has literally killed 3 people, and they just could not prove it.
That's crazy.
But he is in 3 different cases, and they set him at $1 million bail. Now, coming up with $500,000 is nothing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that things are surprising every day. Anything is possible. So for these people to sell these kids, at first I was like, there's no way. I can't imagine somebody wanting to sell a child.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I appreciate everything that you've done as well, Miss Rebecca. Can we let me unmute Miss Glover. Miss Glover, can you turn down your TV?
Yes.
That way we can hear from you.
Okay.
All right, so if you guys have a few questions for Miss Glover, right? Who wanted to ask her a question?
Here I am.
Well,
she's here.
This is me. Here I am.
Well, I'm the one who said it was in my opinion that you had the kids.
Okay.
I figured there's a possibility. We don't know what happened, so there's a possibility that they could have sold them in order to buy the house. So I just want to apologize to you, and I can't. There, I think there.
Here I am. Hi.
Okay.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. There's a lot of people assuming a lot of things right now, but I just want to clarify some things for everybody out there, that my heart is just as broken as anybody else's. that's looking for these boys, has been AV, you have no clue what I've been through on this end. I don't have the boys. I don't know where the boys are. I sold those people a home with good intentions that that's where they were going to raise their family. My heart tells me the boys never made it there. They only bought the home to figure it out. How are we going to go public with this? How are we going to do this? It was like their barricade, their cover up. There was all kinds of shady stuff that happened in the loan. I was homeless in Arizona for 3 weeks because they couldn't get a loan, which they were supposed to have had a loan. It was a disaster.
Wow.
And if I would have went with my gut instinct, which I know better, I would have chose someone else to buy my home. What kind of loan they got, how they got the loan, I don't know. But they moved in September only in my heart, only to discuss it, talk it over, and figure out how they were going to come out. I never saw the boys. I never heard of any children. I never saw the kids in the van. I didn't hear about this till December when it was on television. And
so that was your actual house, and you sold it to
I sold that home to Trezell and Jacqueline.
I am so sorry for everything you went through.
Wow.
Thinking that that's where they were going to raise a family until I found out they were foster parents. Then things got weird with the loan. I left that home on July 1st of last year, and I had to rent the house that I was buying, and I didn't close escrow till almost September, October.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Been through hell.
If I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Miss Brenda Glover. She's the one that sold the home to Trezell and Jacqueline, and she just wanted to clear up a few things here on the live panel. I do appreciate you, Miss Brenda, for being here.
Hey,
That's okay.
I did too.
Brenda, this is Rebecca. I have actually done research on your property, and I'd like to speak on behalf of Brenda. I can't hear too well.
It's kind of hard to hear you, Rebecca.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Really low.
All right, let me take the cover off my iPad.
I think she's driving.
Anyway, Brenda.
Yeah, she's gone on my end. I can't hear her.
I can't hear her at all either.
No, there's nothing.
You got a lot of people that's showing you a lot of love and support.
Okay, I understand that this is about the boys, and I am heartbroken. I am heartbroken. I haven't slept right. I haven't eaten right, thinking that I sold a home and trusted these two people who were shady, and I knew they were shady, and I knew their real estate was shady. Then the money started getting shady, and that's why I waited almost 10 months to move into my home.
What gave you the impression that they were shady?
Because there was a situation, and I told this to the police, and I've told this to the FBI. I've had them in my home. I've been in their office. I've had flyers posted on my car. I've had flyers posted on my new home. And I don't have anything to do with this, but I sold him a house. The realtor was shady because just the way he looked. I'm old school. I'm 65 years old almost. I know what shady is. Trezell and Jacqueline were shady because they stood in the backyard for way too long talking to each other about dirt, I guess. I don't know. He was shady because he kept rubbing his hands together, and asking me what I could plant back there, what I could grow back there, if I could dig holes back there. The man I just got a vibe. AV, you know what I'm talking about. I got a vibe.
Yeah. Right.
And it was a bad vibe. It was a really, really bad vibe. And I told my husband, do you want to wait and see who else comes to look at it? Or do you want to bail? And he said, let's bail. We didn't know what we were up against with them and their money deal.
It's not your fault.
It's not, but I feel guilty in a way because I sold them the house. I could have said no.
But you know what? Those little boys probably didn't even make it to that house.
I know they didn't. I know
Did
in
you-
my soul they did not make it to that home.
Did you ever see the boys with them?
No, they never talked about children. They never said they had children. I never saw any children.
That tidbit about the dirt, that's probably why the PD was digging up back there. Because,
I was growing marijuana back there. That's all I was growing. I used a little house in the back for storage. I know that they have searched that home inside and out. Why he used that back gate? He only opened that back gate for just a little sidekick. That
So
was
what
his
is this? What is this whole thing about a secret room?
There's no secret room, Steve. There's no secret rooms.
Yeah, people keep bringing that up about a secret room and all this other stuff. I'm like, what?
When they bought the house and when I first saw the house in the photos on TV, it looked the same. They didn't do anything to the backyard. They didn't dig up anything. They didn't bury anything. The babies never made it there.
No,
they were gone before then.
I believe that as well.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is it true that the house is still in your name?
No, I've been paid in full by the government. They got a government loan at the end of the whole nightmare.
Okay.
So the deal with the money from the realtor was not my realtor. It was not his realtor. It was the lender. One of the lenders he dealt with, because he dealt with 3 or 4 different lenders. What happened was somebody put money in his bank account to make it look like he had money when he went to get the second or third loan. That's when they got caught. My realtor caught that.
What the hell?
He didn't have any money.
No.
I didn't know that. His realtor never pre-qualified him for a loan. I didn't know that till after. He had no money. I didn't know that till after.
So you're basically the middleman who cared too much, right? Because
I just waited. All I could do was wait.
Who has that much power and authority to put money, a certain amount of money inside of an account and make it look like it's there? How do they do that?
Listen to me, Steve. I've learned a lot in real estate. It was either the lender, the loaner, or the realtor. It had to be somebody on the inside. It had to be someone on the inside in real estate, in the bank. You can't just get a free loan. I waited for, 6 months to get a loan. I had to qualify. We were both working people. We had to qualify for a loan. He only bought that house to hide away and console with her on what they were going to do. Because look how fast they moved out. 3 months they hid in that house, the two of them, to figure out what they were going to do. Everybody on the west side, everybody on Jacqueline's side, they all know where those babies are. And nobody's going to talk until the money is right. Because they're money-hungry people.
Elaborate on that, just to make a quick thing on that, is because I was thinking about that point that she just made. And before they moved to that Cal City home, they did live with some relatives or family, So in order for them to have been able to stage this the way they did and eliminate other family members from being potentially affected by their decisions, they had to stage this out where they buy a home and it's just them two as the adults living in that home instead of, their whole family, extended families or relatives, you know what I mean? So it totally makes sense. Makes total sense in my opinion.
They bought that home as a cover to go in for 3 months. No, none of my neighbors saw them. Ever. Hardly ever. They figured it out between the two of them, who was going to talk, who was going to say what. The first interview I saw, I said, "You're guilty," right there. First interview outside of my house. Guilty.
It's obvious.
So, if anybody wants to ask me any questions, I'm still here. Steve,
Yeah,
I'd like to talk to you. Steve,
hey.
I'd like to talk to you privately sometime.
Okay.
Hook up with me on another day or something. If you and I could have a conversation.
Yeah, we'll do. I'm gonna share my email address across the screen if you want to write it down. Just send me an email. It's on the bottom of the screen. Do you see that?
Oh, I'm in the chat room right now. I can't.
Okay, well, it's AV.
Hold
AV.
on.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're good to go.
Go.
AV United We Stand at gmail.com. Real easy.
Okay. Got it. Anybody else have a question for me now that I'm ready to pass out?
I'm sorry. I would like
I'm
to
sorry
say,
that you're going through all that.
Yeah.
No, it's nothing
Me
compared
too.
to what the boys are going through, I'm sure, if they're even alive or if, you know, wherever they may be, because when he gave his live statement out in front of the Aspen house, I knew right then in that statement he'd done something with those kids. They were never made it there. They were already gone. Some of the things he said in his statement on the live with the cameras and the TV, you know, the boys are gonna be here. Well, that was his clue to tell you, anybody that's smart enough to pick up on that kind of shit, they're not there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. They were nervous. He was nervous. He had the same Chris Watts stance. She was looking at him. He was looking. It was all made up. And then when they got in front of the cameras, they both freaked out.
Yeah, because it was rehearsed.
Because it was rehearsed.
From the chat, a question from the chat. I think Just Me is wondering, were the lights solar powered? The lights that are those solar powered?
When I lived there, the only light we had was on the garage and 2 in the back. That was it.
Okay, thank you. Not solar powered.
Does she mean that the electricity was solar power or just the lights? Like the whole
lights
house?
Outside.
Oh, okay.
The light outside over the garage was a dusk to dawn. It went off in the morning and it came on at night. The 2 in the back we had to turn on from the room in the garage.
Okay, great.
Do you remember the names to the lender, the loaner, and the realtor, all that?
You know what? It is in my paperwork, and I still keep in touch with my realtor. I'll do that with you, Steve, when I can have a private conversation.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah, I appreciate that.
Another question from the chat from Shannon. What is your read of Jacqueline's personality? Who do you think is the alpha in their relationship?
I think he is.
Yeah.
He is.
Okay.
She just does whatever he tells her to do.
You know, when I was looking at the interview when it first came out, I mean, I was sitting there looking at the way Jacqueline was acting, moving herself around. She looked a little scared, to be honest with you. I mean,
She was petrified. I can tell you, I read people. She was swaying back and forth to confront her own soul. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what was going to happen. She was like a scared pup, and she followed his lead. That's the way I looked at it.
People keep asking about Pizzagate. This isn't the Pizzagate conversation holder, right?
I have no clue what that is or who you're talking about.
Exactly. That's what I thought. That was somebody else. That was the woman that lent him money. This is the woman who owned the home in Cal City before they moved in.
The house before I moved in. Go ahead, Steve.
Do you actually remember the amount of money that was put into his account to make it look like he had money?
All I was told, because I had nothing to do with the sale, the realtor part of the home, I just kind of sat back and waited and signed papers when I needed to, and I waited, and I waited and I waited. My realtor told me somewhere someone had put about $6,000 in their bank account. But when the whoever found out, because I wasn't on that end, they said that you can't do that and that there was some kind of a fraud thing going on with the money. I had to wait. My realtor did most of the paperwork. That's her job. I just sign it. That's all I do. Sign here, and sign here. I don't know the details in there. I couldn't tell you who was. I heard it was some girl in one of the lending offices. Don't know her name. But he went through 3 different lenders to try and get a loan. And finally, what my realtor said is they finally got an FHA with the government. How they finagled the paperwork with I don't know how the whole transaction happened, but all I was worried about was myself until December. And then when I found out there were other lives involved, that's when I became a raving crazy woman.
And you didn't even know the boys.
Then I had only been here in the house and I owned it for just a few weeks. And I walked out to my car. There was a flyer on my house. There's a flyer on my car. Somebody's following me because there's a flyer on a special place I go sit at the river that nobody knows, just me. What? So there's a place at the grocery store where I always sit down. There was a flyer, just happened to be right there by the trash can. I mean, I actually feel like I'm being followed. There's too many places I go by myself, alone, just to have a moment and to meditate, that there have been flyers. And it just so happens I drove around after that night, after the police left. And I drove around my neighborhood. And my house was the only house with a flyer.
Wow.
Nobody else had a flyer.
Wow.
Nobody had a flyer on their house. Then the next morning I got up to go wherever, and my whole side of the street on the main drag out there had flyers on every single telephone pole, but not on the other side of the street. Then I went to the park, and my favorite place I go sit by myself to Zen had a flyer on the tree.
I have more questions.
Where you happen to sit.
Right where I happen to sit.
It's not right.
No, it's not. And it's almost like I wish somebody would come here and search my house again. They already searched it once. And I told them I don't have the boys. I just sold the house. That's all I did.
Who searched your house? The police or?
Police and the FBI.
Oh, okay.
We have a question. Love one of your mods in the chat. She's saying, ask why was the house sold over property value? Per Kristen Baker, and others in the chat are wondering.
I completely remodeled the inside. That was a drug house when I bought it. It had sat vacant for over a year. And I went in and it was old and moldy and gross. And I remodeled the kitchen, the bathrooms, the den, everything. It was completely remodeled on the inside.
Wow.
When
you were there, did you ever install video cameras? And when you left, was there still video cameras? No?
No. I had ADT on my door, so if somebody was to try and break in a door, it would ding. That's all I had was ADT. I just had ADT. There were no When I bought the house, the person that owned it before me must have had some kind, because there was a ton of wires everywhere. But I only had ADT. I had no video cameras, no special lighting, never used that back iron gate. It was locked, chained, and closed.
What about the fireplace? Was it wood or gas?
Okay, the fireplace in the living room was gas. We had to install a gas pipe because there wasn't one. The one that was in the den, they took away and threw it in the trash and left the hood in the backyard, or the little chimney stack in the backyard.
Yeah,
That was
that.
there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
That
that's
was
the one
there
he
when
caught on
I
camera.
bought the, yeah, that was the one. It was left behind. We never threw it away because we were going to put another potbelly stove in there at some time or another until we decided we were going to sell. So we just left it.
Brenda.
Because there was, yes.
Now I forgot. Do you know anything about the? Have you watched any of the YouTube videos?
Most of them.
Okay. So, was there any particular reason why that backlight would go on and off like that?
I didn't have that light there. That wasn't I didn't put that light in. I didn't put that light in. They had to install it after I moved.
How many bedrooms was in that house?
Try to. Well, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
How many bedrooms was in that house?
It was 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with a big den in the back.
That could have been made into another room.
We just made it into a big room. We just remodeled it. New carpet, new walls, new paint. We had to tear it apart. It was moldy because it was a grow room.
Okay.
We tore it down to the studs and just redid it. It was just one big, huge room.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. I am sorry that you're going through all that.
It's okay. We just need to,
going on.
Lots of crazy stuff. That's why I wanted to clarify some things. I didn't loan them any money. I didn't take their boys. They never made it to California City. I don't think, just like I said, they bought the house for a decoy. They were there 3 months, came out to the public, they boarded the house up, and they left.
Testament to following your gut, right?
You didn't even know these boys, and this is tearing you up. So,
so how about that? How about that? Okay, that cement slab right there by the back door, right? That looks old to me. Is that from the time when you had it to the time you left? Is that all the same?
Yes, everything in the backyard's the same. Everything is the same.
Including after Trezell and Jacqueline got in there and you've seen the videos like on YouTube of the back side. It's still the same.
It's still the same. Nothing has changed.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Stop going places by yourself.
I just feel like somebody's watching me.
I don't blame you. I mean, if you're going to just places that you usually go to, and bam, there's a flyer on a tree, there's a flyer here, there's a flyer there.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Yeah. I just sometimes look over my shoulder.
AB, are you there? I wonder if you're alive.
AB.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just absorbing it all in. Hi, everybody.
Just checking. Yeah,
hey,
say hi.
I appreciate you, Miss Brenda, for
You're welcome.
joining. And then you have my email address. Send me an email, and I'll send you my phone number.
Yes, sir.
Did you want to say anything, put anything on top of that, LV or AB or criminality, anybody?
No. Thank you,
No,
Brenda,
I'm okay.
for coming on. And
no
I'm
problem.
sorry for what you're going through.
It's okay. I'm tough. I can handle it. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Stay strong.
I'll be in touch with you.
Thank you, Brenda.
Okay. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys. So that was Brenda Glover. And you guys just heard everything she had to say. That's a trip, how money ended up in their account, just out of the blue. They have cash in there.
Right. Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Just
well,
one
the person
question.
who helped them move lent them $5,000 for what was supposed to be furniture. Maybe that was a $5,000 kitty that floated around. It was magically in the account to approve the mortgage, and it also was to go and buy furniture. That's just a rumor that's been out there, of course. But the person that helped them move.
Yeah. Just regarding. That sounds about right to me. What about you guys?
It sounds somewhat right.
Okay, just about the chat.
I think that you would have. I mean, you should have a little bit more in your bank account to
right.
Want to buy a house and have some type of proof that where you're getting that money from. I guess I don't know.
So Steve, I'm up here. I'm a mod. In your thing, and you have Love My Freedom in there, but there's over 1,000 people in there. I don't know if there's anybody else that you might want to pick as a mod just to help out in the chat. A couple people.
It's fine.
It's fine.
If people are going to troll, they're just let them do their thing. I mean, that's obviously that's what this is taking.
All right, that's
and
all.
They need to hear it. They need to hear this anyway, especially those 2 little dirtbags
okay.
that keep running around. So, AB, the floor is yours, bro. I told everybody already. That you had put together, everything, and you might want to share that with everyone. So,
well, I mean, I just dropped a video. That's what I was doing when you went live. I dropped a video, kind of what I called Exhibit A, and it was the first part of the healing process, because after talking to Brian Wang earlier today, that's when that wave came across me, and I knew I had to make a few things right. Although, thank God at this point it didn't get too far, and we can kind of come together and understand, where things went wrong. And with that little collection of information, that's just a matter of, the next couple of days, and a couple of videos, everybody should be up to speed. And most importantly, Sherry Vasquez. And, it's a hell of a thing to, have yourself talked about on TV. We all know that, being involved in YouTube, let alone not being involved at all. And God knows, it's just an unfortunate situation that was sprung upon her. And in my opinion, she was victimized here by Doug Hutton and Benny Keys. And it continued because, what was it? Remy? Was it Remy who was claimed to be Jacqueline's brother, who probably sent, you put it in the microwave?
Oh yeah, that's one of their people. Yeah, that's
sorry, that was me.
Oh, that's a groupie. That's all right. But the where was I? So this person that claimed to be Jacqueline's brother, Remy, I believe, was responsible for. Well, he was the individual on the phone texting in real time last night, which we all know Benny loves that sort of harassment, and he videotapes it and he documents his harassment of, whoever suits his narrative on his channel. So he fancies himself a pedophile hunter, Dallas narc there in Plano, Texas. But the joke's really on him because, obviously we can recognize patterns, and we have been following Doug for over a period of four years now, and it's old hat to us, and it's time to turn the table, Dougie. It's time for you to have a Coke and a smile, as you like to say. So it's
he's creepy.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that was where I was going to ask you. LV crazy. Girls, are you by your microphone? Or are you just chilling out right now? Hey, I got a question for you. So does that sound right to you? Now that I have you beside me, this Remy or whoever was claiming to be Jacqueline's brother, the individual that initially sent you, that you said got you kind of turned in the direction of this particular individual, Sherry. Is that correct?
Yes.
And is that the same person in your mind? But we all know that's the kind of shenanigans. And after what happened on Aspen Avenue with, where are the boys Doug Hutton sign, and these boys are fairly vengeful, and it's quite easy. People, there's many people that watch it. So you get all kinds of bits of information, and it's typical. I take that for granted, and it's just another day because, Doug's the subject of my videos often than not in some way or another. But here in this scenario, because I was just kind of picking up and trusting Steve's info and discussing with him and because I know how confident he is in the sources, but
yes.
You're not always going to get 100%. And we just have to, as shitty as we feel right at this point in time, right. We caught it in time, and we're able to rectify a potentially even worse situation for this poor girl. Now, a lot of the names that are out there are still legitimate, so people are on the right track. It's a good possibility that Doug Hutton is the gaslighter of this situation and actually did a lot more than we can see right here, as putting her right in the line of fire, so to speak, in the eye of, directing the suspicion towards her, so to speak here.
What do you think about that letter that she got?
So he mails her a letter. Doug Hutton mails her a letter.
Yeah, we kind of
which I covered.
It was him that mailed her the letter. I mean,
yeah, as soon as I heard that, I knew what had happened. That was a bit of an April Fool's on their part, I think, a bit of a ploy to get back at us. And the reason for those who don't understand any of this, just by creating all this drama and latching on and heavy trolling, it deters people from becoming active in your channel, because it just creates confusion and hassle. And people, of course, want to focus on the positive and things like that. Over at my channel, we're of the motto, you have to deal with it in a healthy manner, because or else it'll overcome you. And it's better that because knowing's half the battle, everybody, like G.I. Joe has instilled in us over the years. And that's kind of what we do over at our channel around this subject matter. And there's plenty of misinformation to cover. So I think we're going to have our hands full.
Yes, sir. They're not stopping, are they?
Well, it's just what happens, right? It's unfortunate.
After the fact of the video, there was more stuff that was sent to us in regards to the lady who we were speaking to last night. I'm not going to say her name, but a lot of people seen the video. I did speak to a lawyer in regards to this. With her saying, come back and I'll talk to you guys again, so on and so forth. She cannot file anything against us. The most we can do, and the attorney did give, was any videos that we have or we know of any of other YouTubers who grabbed our videos off of our YouTube. If she's not involved or she's not family, to go ahead and take them down. But to keep them downloaded for the safety of us, because if something was to happen, we could use that in courts.
Yeah.
So it would be terminated, like he says. They would do a flip on it pretty much, because she did invite us back the second time to have an interview with her. Just the timing that we went may have not been the right time for her. And as far as the news guy, what was his name? What is it? Bion Wayne. We did speak to him today, and as my wife's face is, because of the dirt bike incident that the wreck she got into, she told him, I don't want to go live today, but I will definitely go live with you when my face heals up a little bit more. I still had no problem speaking with him, but going live was going to be an issue because of my accident. Right. So just the way he flipped and turned that, himself could get himself into a whole lot of trouble right now. I've had another issue with this Bion Wayne when my brother was murdered and the things he was throwing out there on the news. That we did not take into, how would you say? We didn't take action on him due to the fact that my mom and my dad and everybody was grieving of my brother's death. We weren't thinking of that at the time, but it just seems like this guy keeps coming for, and it's not, and it could be just because we're searching for the boys. Don't get me wrong. And it could be, and I'm going to be honest, a lot that I have against him in the things that he said, not knowing the background of my brother, just going off of what he supposedly heard or whatever it was, then him finding out the facts.
Are you talking about Bion Wayne?
The family,
LV?
Yeah, she's talking about Bion Wayne. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. And it's been ongoing with Bion and a few other people here. But as far as me and I have an issue with him, and I didn't speak to him. LV spoke to him today and told him, look, I will do an interview with you when I get better. She didn't deny the interview with him, but the way he went and twisted everything up, after I seen Lady Queen post up the video on her page, I went ahead and screen recorded it coming from her page, because one, I felt, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I felt I was the one, Nene, went to Cherry's house, spoke to Cherry. I should have had Cherry on my platform, not Lady Queen's. Lady Queen had none of this going on with her, nor was she here to know facts of what happened, what was being said, and how people were reacting that day, because everything got twisted once everything went up on Lady Queen's platform. That was Cherry should have came to me like I've been going to her, with her saying, go ahead and come back and we'll talk. She could have called me. Cherry had my number, but I felt Lady Queen was in the wrong yesterday by even having Cherry up there asking her questions in regards to what we have recorded. That didn't give her the right to do any of that. That should have been done on AV's or mine or LV's platform, to where we could have just nicked it in the butt, left it at that, but then it turned around into a big old mess and made things a little worse than what it was. And then everybody was okay with it after the fact that it was time for everybody to get off. I was not okay with this still, because I still haven't said a whole lot that I should have said. And I have not released a whole lot of video from the first time that we went to the second time that we went, leading to the third time when AV went with us.
Yes.
That
LV
should have been released, but we did not release it. And Bion Wayne wants video of it. I'm not giving him video of it. Like the lawyer said, keep that to yourself, because if Cherry decides to take you guys to court, AV, LV, Nene, whoever else is involved, due to Lady Queen having her up on her platform and making things worse than what they were, you could use that in court, flip it around, one on Lady Queen and another on Cherry playing victim when she went ahead and asked you guys to come out. Lawyer already heard this conversation, seen the video and everything else. So with that being said, I think it just made it a whole lot more than what it was. The information that we got after the fact that we got off live with Lady Queen yesterday was more information, and I believe it was coming from Doug or Benny or their little trolls, but we did not pertain to that. We didn't even bother commenting on it. We did not bother getting back to them through the email. We did not bother them. You know, we're getting text messages, emails, inboxes through Facebook. My wife started getting text messages, and we're like, well, who the hell is this? And they're like, just meet us there, meet us there, meet us there. This is family members, da 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 da. After we were already showing screenshots that were already being sent to us that people were saying, I'm the son, this, that, and the other. We already know it wasn't. We knew that they wanted more things to get worse than what they were. So we knew exactly what we needed to do, stay where we were put. So we stand law enforcement. Okay, you guys are saying all this. Let's go ahead and have law enforcement deal with that. Because at this point, you know what I mean? We're not trying to make things bad for anybody. And as everybody could see on my videos, we never once said, Miss Cherry, you are Jacqueline's mother. Never once. We said a possible family member. And I'm going to be honest, if not, whatever you were to Jacqueline, if that was the case. But I'm going to be honest with everybody. We went over there for answers. 1, 2, it was to find Jacqueline. 3, to get answers from Jacqueline. Scoot over, Papa. Get out of the camera. You're breathing heavy. Getting information in regards to the boys. Here, take the fry and go. And that's all we were basically doing. None of this was to harm Cherry, cause chaos in her life, her to have fear, her to be scared of anybody. I mean, I thought everything was fine with us, because she even said to come back the 4th time to show the birth certificate, and come to find out, everybody's like, oh my gosh, she has an issue with you guys. And I'm like, since when? What happened? What's going on? They're like, you need to jump on Lady Queen's live. And I'm like, oh God, are you kidding me? Of all people, I mean, SP or anybody else, but somebody's live that has been talking to you since day 1 that we went over there. You know what I mean? It would only make sense, because we've only talked to each other, you know what I mean? And it's never been in any kind of disrespectful way. It's never been nothing like that, but to ask questions, the same questions that were asked the first time and second time and third time that we've been there, up to the 4th time we were there with AV, all of a sudden the last time everything switched up, but yet the first 3 times all these people were in the cahoots together, but Jacqueline, and that's what kept dragging us back. Okay, everybody is family, this, that, and the other. You're saying you know them through marriage or whatever it is, or past relationships, past marriages, whatever it is. But today we ask you, and you're not saying that now. You're saying, I don't know who these people are, you know? And it's like, okay, there's been quite a few lies that you've seen. And I've seen somebody actually, I don't know if it was you, AB, or somebody else. There was like 2 or 3 videos that's out right now where people like literally grab video from my video, caught video from Lady Queen's video, and kind of like merged them together. And I was like, oh, wow. You see, I told you she said this, you know, but I mean, everybody's going to feel a certain way. And I get it. You know, Cherry felt threatened because a lot of people were inboxing her, texting her, whatever the situation is. And we didn't have no control over that. And we did not mean for any of that to happen. But, you know, like everybody says,
how do we,
into their own hands.
Not trying to cut nobody off, but we need to set something and just execute and go forward, man. We need to continue to search for the boys. What other search locations do you think we should go to? Do you guys here in the chat have any ideals at all? Like, do you guys think that we're just looking for no reason? Or do you believe that we should continue to just search everywhere? Because I have no clue where to search anymore. Where are we going to search?
I know Patria has a good spot to search. Let me see if she can get it to type it
There's
in the chat.
that land right there, that fire road I was telling everybody about, but we need help out there because it's a lot of ground to cover. And it runs from Cal City towards the back of Tehachapi. But we all say, everybody pretty much agrees in this chat that the boys never made it to Cal City. So are we wasting our time by searching from Cal City to Tehachapi? Where else can we look?
Well, AV, I think it's going to be hard to narrow anything down until we get somebody talking. But I'm not there, you know, I'm in another state. But if Cherry says they're in Mexico, we know they're not in Mexico.
Who said that?
Cherry, last night, she said they were in Mexico. Or it might have been on the video.
Yeah, she's just commenting. Like,
but it was interesting in all this process that we did learn. Well, of course, it was reiterated. Many of out in the audience already knew, but you know, Maria, we do know some facts about Jacqueline's biological mother. She was interviewed. There's a direction that very powerful, the powerful statement by the realtor up on your panel just a few moments ago. You know, I'm going to have to go back and rewatch because
she's
there's
actually
a lot
not
of information in that.
She's not a realtor. She's
yeah, sorry, the home seller. I apologize for that. Yes, Barb. Anyway, that was very powerful. So, I mean, there's a lot of little tidbits that, you know, at this point in time, you know, considering where we are in this investigation, I think that we can eliminate a lot of loose ends and kind of zone in on where to put our focus. Like, I think, like it or not, at some point, there's going to be a whole lot of financial records to go through when money's involved and Trezell has none. And you start, you know, exploring business numbers and pulling information that way. We're going to have to take it day by day, you know, but I guess, you know, we could see how far that takes us.
So we have one person out in, what was it, San Jose, that actually seen the boys with her own eyes. She had a conversation with Jacqueline that day. And then guess what? She spoke to Hanson from Cal City, and he told her not to talk to anybody anymore. So that's why you guys are not seeing her anymore or seeing me cover anything with her anymore, because she was told not to say a word. But she seen them in San Jose. And Jacqueline told her that they had the boys in Tracy visiting some of her extended family because her family wanted to get to know them. And this is right before they came up missing. So, I mean, that's the only. And then we have people out here also where I'm at, living out here in Palmdale, saying, well, we've seen them. But they're saying that they've seen them before the 21st of December. And I think one of them said they've seen them after the 21st of December. But it does seem like the lady out there in San Jose was telling the truth. And
AV,
she came out and told them everything. So
was that the
if there's
time
anybody out there, we have over 1,000 people in this chat. If there's anybody out there in San Jose, Tracy, and you guys need flyers, contact me, get a hold of me. And we might need you to go around and post flyers up out there, anything.
AB.
I'm just trying to think, like, where else can we possibly look for them? Yeah, go ahead.
Both of my admins are out there from Tracy and all that.
Oh, okay.
Was that
awesome.
the video that they said they slept in the van?
Yeah, they slept out in the van in the parking lot
with the kids. Yeah,
with the kids.
Okay.
Got up the next morning, went inside when they opened up bright and early. I guess they tried to use a bathroom or something like that. And I mean, you guys remember?
Yeah.
She said that one of the boys their face looked a little swollen. You know, and you know, there were some people that didn't believe her, and there was a lot that did. There's a lot of people that's worked in grocery stores, so they know that sometimes you kick off these conversations with whoever's right there in front of you, checking out your items, you know? So that's basically what happened, and I haven't heard nothing since then. But I do know this much, she got extremely scared as well, because certain people started calling her job, and these idiots posted those videos on their channels. And they kept doing it even after they posted those videos. They kept on messing with this girl and up there and saying all kinds of weird crap, to where she got so scared she didn't want to even come out and speak no more. You know, so plus on top of that, what Hanson told her. So I don't know. I don't know where else we need to.
Steve, I have that place to search, and
which one?
There's a strong, reason to believe that this area would be perfect to be searched. It's Tehachapi Willow Springs Road from Rosamond to Tehachapi. Yeah, that's what it is. I guess a lot goes on down there, so write that down, and that would be like the prime spot if you wanted to like dispose of anything. Hopefully that's not the case, but we're checking everything, guys. So, I don't know if you're close to there, or that's doable.
No, I know exactly where you're talking about. I actually we ran into that road on the way back from Bakersfield. I think it was about 2 weeks ago, and
good.
We actually went down that road. It was in the middle of the night when we were coming back from Bakersfield, so I know what you're talking about.
Good, because she's been on this case real strong, and she's a really smart woman, and I would definitely love for that to be checked out.
Right.
So thank you.
Hey, AV, I gotta get ready to head out.
Yeah, same here, guys. So I mean, we're gonna end up closing out anyway right now. And I mean, if anybody has anything else to say before we do.
The address in Tehachapi, did somebody see the kids there, or what happened? I mean,
what do you mean?
I think it's criminality.
Yeah, it's like it's around the same vicinity. It's a spot where a lot of bodies have been, found. There's been several. There's a lot of, murders out there. There's a lot goes on out there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, AV, I'm gonna get off here. It was nice to see you, LV. Everybody, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
I appreciate you. Sis.
You're welcome. Check
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Anybody else have anything else to say before we close out this live? AV,
Well,
LV, coming out either.
Just follow through with that Becca girl, Steve. That's all I gotta say. And thank you
For
everybody for all
sure.
your work. Okay.
For
All right.
sure.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? There's Rebecca. She's been sitting in the back. Rebecca,
Yes.
you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I just noticed that you were there again. I was like, what the heck?
I'll stick around.
Did you want to say anything before we closed out?
What I'd like to do is send you an email with a list of addresses in the various states and in Bakersfield that I think flyers need to be put where family members are. And this is just my honest opinion. I don't think these boys are dead. I think looking and wasting time and going around in fields, and what's that lady's name who has a YouTube channel? She uses her last name and she's always out there in Bakersfield. She has a
Crenshaw.
Yes,
Crenshaw?
her.
Yeah.
She I watched her videos for a while and keep looking at the same things over and over again. I think these boys are on the move. That's just my opinion. So I think
somebody
that
could be moving them around.
Yeah. And I think the more that we all have addresses and places that we have actual relatives living, the more that those places can be watched or looked at, or
Right.
called, stopped, ring the doorbell. I don't know.
Well, get that info out to us quick.
I'm very curious about that information you have, especially with that not being Jacqueline's, real name. So if you could email me at avunitedwestand@gmail.com.
Yep, I got it.
And then I'll just give you my phone number over there or something, and then we can chit chat.
Okay, sounds good.
I do appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the live panel. You're more than welcome to join anytime. Sorry that you had to sit in the back for a little bit.
No, it's okay. I wanted to say something about Brenda.
Go ahead.
Brenda, I've looked up the real estate records, and I did know that the West, I'll just say the West is a couple. There are some bad marks on their financial background, and I'm curious as to how they were able to get that loan unless somebody co-signed for it. I just don't understand it, because with what I know about their financial background, which I think AB knows, and then there's a couple people on this panel that know, they shouldn't have been able
3 months of your salary in the bank.
Right, and you can't just drop a lump sum into it.
Yeah, at the last minute, because they have a protection. They have checks and balances in the way to guard against that kind of direction. It all depends how you phrase things, of course, and if you're, it's that's up to the realtor at the time, I would assume.
Right, but Brenda really truly she really has nothing to do with this other than she sold them the house.
I don't believe she does either. Yeah.
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
Maybe a possible VA loan, a veterans loan.
No, nobody's been in the
USDA, I think the term is for it.
Yeah. That.
Veterans Administration. My husband had one. That's how we bought our first house.
We got one more other person that just joined.
It's the first time.
Cal City Strong. What's up? You're in.
Time homeowners.
That's FHA.
What's up, Steve?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
you're
everybody.
All in. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Sorry to cut everybody off. I know the whole home buying process is like a struggle right now, even for me and my husband. We both work full-time jobs. We've had established jobs out here in Cal City. We've lived out here for 6 years, and our lenders saying that we have to have our whole down payment marinating in the bank for up to 3 months. Now, for me, I don't trust banks like that to just have, you know, a lump sum of money sitting like that. I do have all the check stubs from where my money comes from. So I can back Brenda up a little bit on her story regarding the whole money laundering thing. I do think that that's kind of suspicious that they would just have more than 1 or 2 lenders in the whole ordeal. And I just feel that the whole thing is suspicious, and I pray to God every night before I go to sleep that these boys will be found. But like everybody's saying, only Jacqueline and Trezell know where those baby boys are, alive or not. And that's who we should be questioning the most, not the parents, not Sherry Vasquez. There's not too much information about Jacqueline West or Vasquez. It's really hard to pinpoint where she's come from. I know a lot of the people finders and stuff like that give you all these names, and they're linked to people in Mexico, Guadalajara, Guatemala. I just think it's really fishy that we can find more information on Trezell and not so much Jacqueline.
Well, I think Rebecca actually found a bunch of information that she'll be sharing, I guess, sometime soon here.
Okay.
But like she just said, that Jacqueline's not even her real name, right, Rebecca?
Nope. That's not her first name.
Wow.
That explains why you can't hardly find nothing on her, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's crazy.
I just feel that the whole thing that the whole thing is just getting blown out of proportion and taking our main point of finding these boys. Every time somebody goes to search somewhere or somebody has a lead, it seems like there's somebody else in the background trying to throw everybody off.
Yep. I agree.
And it's driving me crazy. Why Jacqueline and Trezell have not been drilled by law enforcement, why they have not been interrogated, not questioned. They need to be interrogated, separated, because one of them two know 100% what happened to those boys.
And it's reasonable to suspect it was Trezell because Jacqueline, is a follower. You can tell that in the interview by potentially, like Barb was saying earlier, following Trezell's lead in the interview on what to say, picking up on those cues.
Yeah.
If anybody was to break with law enforcement, it would be Jacqueline or somebody from Jacqueline's immediate family. Because there's
Has anybody had any recent sightings on Jacqueline and Trezell? Because I know the last sighting that I've heard of was only the one when they were in that.
I heard there was a new address out there. Wasn't there talk of a new address that just popped up under Jacqueline West?
Yes, I've seen a new address out there. I gotta go. I have it somewhere, but yeah, there's a new address.
Can you drop my link in the comments, please, Amanda?
Sure. Yep.
All right, guys, we've been on here for a while. I'm gonna have to close this out. I got a few things I got to do.
Please go to my channel and sub, everybody.
I love you, Steve, and I support you 100%. I know you've been boots on ground since day one. I was out there day one, the night. Well, actually, not the night they went missing, the following night. So maybe like a 20-hour window frame. And I know that you've been there, boots on the ground, Steve. And I want to give you all my praise and my condolences for you helping out this family and in this time of need. And everybody out here is still keeping an eye out. All we can do is pray.
Awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you for saying all that.
Thank you.
It means a lot.
Thank you to all the other YouTubers too that have been putting their feet on the ground too, taking time out of their day, out of their family. And we're so strong. Everybody's coming together so strongly, and hopefully the search will continue until we find these boys. And I think law enforcement needs to have a little bit more pressure on them, and as well as Jacqueline and Trezell, because if I see Jacqueline or Trezell, I am going all out. I'm stopping them. I'm not going to harass them. I'm going to just ask them 1,000,001 questions. But who knows if that will ever happen.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
All
well
right. I
said.
appreciate you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Don't buy any of Trizel's ice cream.
No.
Oh God, no! Please don't. Ugh.
No.
Boycott Trizel's ice cream, everybody. Boycott Doug and Benny.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug and
Yeah.
Benny.
Do that one.
These guys are crazy off the boots. Not boots
Yeah.
on the ground. They're crazy off the boots.
Exactly. Exactly.
These
All
guys
right.
have been, yeah. All the credit goes to you, Steve. I don't care what anybody else says. All the other YouTubers have joined on and they've been giving you credible information. But I know with my own eyes, I've seen you out here day one, boots on the ground, baby. And I appreciate that.
Steve's
Appreciate
the man.
You. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm just a guy with the camera. All right, guys. So you guys, I appreciate that. Hey, you guys, make sure to check out AB. Make sure to check out Criminality, and Miss Rebecca, if you can, please send me an email.
I'll compile it tonight.
Yeah, talk.
And then one more question, Steve. Sorry, I don't want to hold you up any longer. We never got any information why Jesse never released his footage, huh?
I mean, there's a couple stories out there, but nothing credible. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Well,
you
guys have a blessed night.
You too.
Thank you.
You too. I appreciate you. All right, guys. Thank you. Before we get off, if you guys can, put a whole bunch of blue hearts for the boys, man. Bunch of blue hearts in the comment section for the boys. And you guys, please don't forget, check out AB, check out Criminality. And just appreciate each and every last one of you guys. You guys have anything you want to close out with, or are you good?
Just thanks everybody for all your hard work. And thank you.
Goodbye.
AB, goodbye.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Oh,
yeah. All right, guys, we're out of here.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.